Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where retro games never sit on the bench. Today we are diving into one of the wildest, funniest, and one of the most chaotic sports games of the 90s. That's right, NBA Jam. I loved this game. It was so fast-paced and aggressive, a 2-on-2 basketball match with some quality 90s NBA players. Was there any better feeling than getting 3 baskets in a row and hearing, "He's on fire," than laying down some absolutely filthy dunks on your friends and getting up in their face to celebrate how bloody awesome you were? In reality, I could barely dunk a donut. Let's jump straight into 10 things you didn't know about this legendary game. 1. The announcer was the star. Everyone remembers that booming voice yelling, "He's on fire!" Or, "Boom shakalaka!" That voice belonged to Tim Kitzrow, who recorded thousands of lines. Here's the crazy part. His ad-libbed jokes and ridiculous one-liners ended up shaping the personality of the entire game. Without him, NBA Jam might have just felt like bog-standard basketball. Good on you, Timmy boy. 2. The arcade cabinets made millions. When NBA Jam hit arcades in 1993, it was so popular that the arcade game generated over $1 billion in revenue within its first 12 months of release, making it a massive financial success. It was a record-setting year for the game, which was the highest-grossing arcade game in America for 1993 and set the all-time record for the highest per-unit arcade earnings at the time. 3. Hidden characters. There was a good amount of hidden characters, including musicians like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Mortal Kombat players like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and even politicians like Al Gore and Bill Clinton. Imagine watching Bill Clinton successfully manipulate his balls, dribbling like a pro and leaving his mark on the court. Quite a sight to behold. 4. Secret anti-Chicago Bulls code. The lead designer, Mark Turmell, was a die-hard Detroit Pistons fan, and he snuck in a cheat to mess with the Bulls. If you picked Chicago in clutch moments against Detroit, your shots would mysteriously brick. Mark was recorded saying, "I was unhappy with what had happened to the Pistons. That was my only way to make a difference. So if the Bulls take a shot to win or tie the score in the last 5s, I throw up a brick." There's an actual code in there that prevents them from winning. Imagine coding your sports grudges into a video game. Bloody legend. 5. Dunk physics. NBA Jam was designed to be fun, not realistic. Players could jump 15 feet in the air, spin 3 times, and slam dunks so hard the backboard shattered. Midway literally said, "If it's fun, keep it." That design choice made the game pure arcade magic. 6. Boom shakalaka. That iconic catchphrase actually came from the hip-hop world. The phrase was lifted from Sly and the Family Stone's 1969 track, "I Want to Take You Higher." The developers thought it fit perfectly as the hype call for a monster dunk. And now, it's impossible to hear boom shakalaka without picturing a flaming basketball. The power of retro gaming, right? 7. It was one of the first sports games with licensed real players. Most sports games before NBA Jam had fake names or generic athletes. Midway actually got the NBA license, which let them use the real roster from the 1992-93 season. Well, almost all of them. One very famous guy was missing. We'll get to him later. What a great buddy teaser to try and get you buggers to stick around. 8. The SNES and Genesis ports sold millions. Arcades were great, but when NBA Jam came home in 1994, it absolutely exploded. The SNES and Sega Genesis versions sold over 6 million copies combined. That made it one of the best-selling third-party games of the entire 16-bit era. 9. The arcade machines had a memory system. Back in the early 90s, most arcade games didn't care who you were. You put in your quarters, you played, and when you left, your progress was gone. But NBA Jam had a clever ID system. You'd enter your initials and a secret code, and the machine would track your wins, losses, and stats. It was like a proto-save file, but in a basketball cabinet. This kept people coming back to the same machine every week just to defend their record. 10. Michael Jordan wasn't in the game. That's right, the biggest NBA star of all time was nowhere to be found. Why? Because Jordan actually owned the rights to his own name and likeness, separate from the NBA's group license. But here's the twist. Midway made a secret version just for Jordan, Gary Payton, and Ken Griffey Jr. And that's 10 things you didn't know about NBA Jam. From presidents on the court to secret grudges in the code, this game was absolute chaos in the best way possible. Which fact blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button if you've ever been on fire, and of course, subscribe for more retro gaming goodness. Until next time, keep it jamming, and it's game over for now.